Hello and good morning, everyone who's here. We're live from Glasgow on this not so beautiful morning in Glasgow. It's very rainy here. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but it's not too fantastic here, unfortunately. It's nice weather for ducks, as we say. They like this type of weather. So when you come into the live chat, please say hello right into the live chat. Tell me that you are here. Got people coming, so please say hello. Tell me how the weather is in your country where you are just now. Maybe you're in Glasgow like me, and you can see it's raining. It's raining cats and dogs, as nobody says. Nobody uses that expression, but it is an expression in English. I've just got a message. Oh, there's somebody telling me they can't come to the live lesson, but that's fine. So I hope you're all well today in today's lesson. Like I said, please say hello. So I know when you're here in today's lesson, we're going to look at prepositions. But we're going to look at what we call dependent prepositions. So the preposition depends on what comes before it. So we're looking at prepositions after verbs to begin with, and then we're looking at prepositions after adjectives. So in each case, the preposition depends, the dependent, hi Atif, how are you? The preposition depends on either the verb or the adjective that comes before it. So in each case, oh, hi Mamso, how are you? Hello everybody, nice to see you. So in each case, to say hello, how are you? So in each case, we will look, I'm going to show you a sentence with a gap for the preposition. I'd like you to try to answer what you think the preposition is. Then we'll look at the complete sentence, talk about what the connection is here, because we're always looking for the connection. So I'm going to show you highlighted connections between the verb and the preposition, or the adjective and the preposition as well. And before we get started, I'm not sure if everybody who's here knows, but I do have a Facebook group called Learn English with Alex, which I'm going to put the link up into there just in case you aren't a member and you'd like to be a member of this Facebook group. I share things, I share my videos, I share other things. We have some conversations and things like that. So most days, Monday to Friday at least, there are new things on there. So check it out. And the other thing I wanted to draw your attention to, which I'm not sure if you're aware of, is that I have a website now as well. On here, there are my videos and different things. Also, I write a blog on there about learning languages. I know in my ideas, and I share some things on there as well. And what else is on there? You can actually book a lesson with me if you're interested in doing that on there as well. So have a look at that. Okay, so anyway, that's the self-promotion over with. So let's get down to the business of prepositions. Okay, so like I said, we're going to look at 10 verb plus preposition combinations and 10 adjective plus preposition combinations. So I'm going to get started. I'll put up the first sentence. There's going to be a gap. I'll also show you on the screen on my iPad, which has just closed, actually. Let's see. Okay, I've got it there. I'll show you on there just in case. It's easier for you depending on what type of device you're on. And you can tell me what you think the answer is. So here goes with the first sentence. Well, here we have the first sentence here. And if you can see it, he apologized, space, the teacher, space, being late. So, you know, as I said, we're talking about prepositions here. All of the answers are prepositions. You know, we're talking about for, with, about, to can sometimes be a preposition as well. Sometimes it's part of the infinitive. So those are the type of words we're looking for here. Okay. So we've got some answers coming in already. So I really want you to think about the verbs in this sentence. Yeah. the verb, well, one verb in the sentence, sorry, two gaps, but one verb. So it's apologize. Yes. Okay. So we've got 3 people in with answers already, and they all say the same thing. So 2 and 4. Let's have a look at the correct answer and see if you're right. So yes, you are right. Okay, and I've highlighted some things on here just to draw your attention to, the combinations that we're looking at here. So it's apologize to somebody and for something. Okay, so that's the key thing that you need to remember here. And a lot of people find these combinations quite difficult because we say, how can we learn these things? And unfortunately, the truth is you just have to learn these things. Okay, so these are structures that you have to write down in a notebook. You have to keep a record of. You have to try to notice it when you're reading, when you're listening, and that will help you remember it. But the key thing here is apologize to somebody for something. So well done to everybody who got it correct. A lot of my students need to remember this sentence as well because they tend to be late for their classes quite often. So that's an important one. Anyway, let's have a look at sentence 2. Only one gap here. Some of the sentences have 1, some of them have 2, but it's always a preposition. Let's see, I'm going to hold that back a little bit then. Maybe I don't look so weird. So who does this phone belong? Something. Who does this phone belong? Okay, some answers in there. Feel free to answer. If you're not sure, you don't have to answer. Or if you want to guess, then feel free to do that as well. So we've got 3 answers in here. I think I will give you the correct answer just now. And we have some people with the correct answer. And it is 2. Okay, so who does this phone belong to? So the important thing here is to look at the verb. I'm going to hold that back. That looks much better, doesn't it? So can you see that? I'm not sure. Okay. Belong to. Something belongs to somebody. We want to think about these, what we call like chunks of language, bigger parts of language that we can remember. So instead of, remembering just the verb belong, we can remember something belongs to somebody. And that's more useful when you're trying to make sentences. So belong to is really the connection that we're trying to remember here. And an interesting thing about this sentence to notice is that we have the preposition to, preposition in this case. Hi, Josefa. Thanks for joining us. When we make a question, the preposition usually goes at the end. So it's not who does to this phone belong, something like that. That doesn't work. We want the preposition in a question at the end of it. Okay, so who does this phone belong to? Good. Feel free to join in, Josefa, when you're ready. We're just going on to the next one. We're looking at verbs and prepositions. So all the answers are prepositions. Okay. In this sentence, we have 2 gaps again. So 2 different prepositions. Okay. An important sentence as well. I never argue something, my teacher, something, the right answer. So again, the preposition depends on, in this case, and whether you're talking about somebody or something. Okay, Atef, you've got 1 answer there, but you've got the second one as well. Okay, good. Okay, let's see if anybody else has an answer in this case. I'll copy. Okay, we've got quite a few answers in, so I think I'll give you the correct answers. So yes, Mamso, well done, you've got the correct answer, as usually. as usual, even. So it's I never argue with my teacher. I'm showing you the wrong one. Sorry, the correct answer is I never argue with my teacher about the right answer. So argue with somebody about something, about a topic. That's what we need to remember here. Lots of correct answers, some correct answers there. So that's good. Let's go on to the next one. I'm not sure what number we're on anymore. I think we're on number 4. Of the verbs we have here. So the next sentence is, could you ask the waitress something the bill? Okay, answers coming in already. See if there's any other answers. Have a drink of coffee in the meantime. My Parks and Recreation mug. This was a present. It's very fun. It's from a TV series. Very funny. Okay. So the correct answer is, not sure. Let's see. Okay. So it's ask for, like the answers we had there. So again, to highlight the connection that we're looking for, ask for something. You know, remember that there are obviously exceptions to all of these things, that, you know, it's not always ask for something. For example, if you say a question, then you say ask a question. You don't say ask for a question. So, you know, bear in mind we're talking about generalizations here, but if you want something, you need to ask for it. You want somebody to give you something. Okay, good. Let's have a look at the next one. This is one that quite often students make mistakes with, so let's see how you do. I almost showed you the correct answer there. That would have been good. I might go for a run later. It depends. The weather. Quite often people will use no preposition with this, but we definitely need the preposition. Quite often people try to use the verb be with depend. It is depend, but that's a mistake as well. On, in. There's only one space here, Josefa, so let's see what the correct answer is. So it is, I might go for a run later. It depends on the weather. Yeah, so it is on, like most of you got correct. Okay, let's move on to the next example. So we have a multi-part verb here. Phrasal verb is not entirely a phrasal verb, but it's just kind of a 3-part phrasal verb. I'm really looking forward to something going to the party. Okay, that's an easy one. Everyone's got the correct answer, I think, here. So let me copy that in. An interesting thing about this, you're correct, obviously, looking forward to in this multi-part verb. So I'm really looking forward to going to the party. Something to point out in this sentence is that after to, if we're using a verb, then it has to be ing. Yeah, so we've got different examples of that in our 20 sentences we have today, but I'm really looking forward to going. Some people get confused here because they think of to as just part of the infinitive, but because to is a preposition here, it has to be ing after it. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to going to the party, not to go to the party. Okay, another 3 examples with verbs before we move on to adjectives. She spends a lot of money, something, things she doesn't use. That sounds like somebody I know, but I won't say who. Does that sound like somebody you know? I wonder. A lot of people have this problem, spending money. Okay, we've got 1 answer in so far. Atef says 4. Do we have any other answers? Anybody else who wants to take a stab, who wants to guess, or an educated guess as to what the answer might be? Another couple of seconds and another little drink of coffee. To say, and Mamso say in. Okay, and the good news is that nobody is correct in this one. And I say good news because that means, I'm so not sure yet, that's fine. The good news is that you got this wrong, so that means I can correct you, and we have a learning opportunity here. So here is the correct answer. On. Yeah, so she spends a lot of money on things she doesn't use. Okay, so spend money on something is the thing that we need to remember there. Okay, moving on to our second last one here on verbs. So it's, do you believe something, the Loch Ness Monster? So remember, this can depend on the meaning as well, because if you believe somebody, this means that you think they're telling the truth. But here we mean, do you think it is real? Yeah, so again, it could be believe something, ghosts, with the same meaning. Yeah, because believe somebody is a slightly different meaning, and then we don't need a preposition. Yeah, so let's have a look at the answer here. So we've got some correct answers, which is good. Do you believe in the Loch Ness Monster? So again, we can say, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in, I don't know, the supernatural, something like that? Different examples we can have here. I put some Scottish examples in today, obviously, just to bring it closer to home. Did I show you this yet? Okay, so do you believe in something, but believe somebody when you think that they're telling you the truth. Okay, and this is our last example with a verb. Okay, I dreamt something winning the lottery last night. So the key thing to focus on here is dream. And irregular verb, so past is dreamt. Let's see what you think the answer could be here. Of is an interesting answer, Mamso, because dream of something. Usually we use that when you're, it's like you're imagining something in the future that you want to happen, something like you're looking forward to something. Yeah. So, for example, I'm dreaming of the end of coronavirus. It's something that you want to happen. But here, the meaning of this is just we had a dream last night. So that's a slightly different meaning, and it affects the phrasal, the preposition that we'll use as well. Okay, we've got 3 answers so far, 3 different answers. Mamso, yes. Good, well done. So the correct answer is about. Yeah. So the meaning here. And Thistilla, thank you for joining us. It's nice to see you. So all of the answers here are prepositions, okay? So it's of, about, in, for, with, all of these things. So none of them are going to be verbs like was. Okay, so the answer there that we have is I dreamt about winning the lottery last night. So dream about something, like Mamso's example of, then we're kind of thinking about the future and something that we want to happen in that case. Okay, good. So we had 10 different examples there of verbs and prepositions that go with them. Prepositions that depend on the verb before them, like apologize to somebody for something, argue with somebody about something, yeah? Ask for something. So in all of these cases, it was verbs, but now we're going to go on and we're going to look at adjectives, because you have both. You have, they depend on the verb, adjective, and sometimes you have it depending on a noun as well, which we're not going to look at today, but we are going to look at adjectives. So I'm just going to look at the next example. So as I said, the next 10, we're going to focus on the adjective and what prepositions we need after them. And the first one, we have 2 prepositions required because of a slightly different meaning in each case. So let me know what you think about this one. So obviously we've got the adjective angry. She's really angry, something, her children, something, behaving badly. So we're thinking about angry, preposition, somebody, preposition, a reason. Okay, we've got one answer in already. Have a think about what it could be. Okay, we've got some different answers there. Some people have just gone with one answer. So let's see the correct sentence. She's really angry with her children for behaving badly. We can say about as well. Some of you said in the second space there, we can say about. She's really angry with her children about. We might structure it a little bit different if we're using about, just to be more natural with that. She's really angry with her children about the fact that they behave badly. If we're going to use a verb directly after it, we'd probably use for more commonly. Doesn't make it 100% wrong, but it's just more natural use to use for with a verb after it. But we can say angry about something as well. So a couple of you said about for the second answer, and that is possible too. Okay, so be angry with somebody for something or about something, depending on how you use it. Okay, let's have a look at our second example with an adjective. So the adjective we're looking at here is afraid. I think I just showed you the answer there as well. So I expect everybody to get this correct if you were actually looking at the screen, because then I showed you the answer. So we've got lots of correct answers coming through here. I'm sure you knew this one anyway. This was an easy one. So everyone got this correct because, you have this knowledge, not because I showed you the answer, obviously. Okay, so my sister is afraid of. Yeah. Also, we say scared of as well. So, they're virtually the same meaning. Afraid of, scared of. We can use the same preposition in each case. Okay, let's look at the next one. And this time I'll try not to show you the answer. So the adjective we have here in this case is excited. I'm really excited something seeing that new movie. We can, okay, this is interesting answers that will give us something interesting to talk about, which obviously means Okay, so the correct answer is about. I'm really excited about seeing that new movie. And interesting in this case, because after excited, we could use an infinitive, which would mean we would need to use to. So I'm really excited to see that new movie. But in this case, to is not a preposition. In this case, to is part of the full infinitive. So the preposition, and because of my sentence here, I had seeing after the gap, not see, because I want a preposition. Then ing, yes, this is exactly. So because we have ing there, it has to be about, not to, because after excited, then we can use an infinitive, excited to see, but because my sentence has seeing, then we need to use the correct preposition, which is about. So excited to do something or excited about doing something. So we could have both those structures, but only the second one with about is actually using a preposition. And that's why we have ing after as well. But that's it's good to notice the ing there, Thursday, because that's why the correct answer here is about and not to, like some of you said. Okay, and this is another example of where we have ing after the preposition. So, good example. Okay, let's have another sentence about Scotland. Scotland is famous something, whiskey, and the Loch Ness Monster. The Loch Ness Monster is here again. I didn't realize I did that. Talking about the Loch Ness Monster a lot today. Okay, so the answer is famous for. Scotland is famous for whiskey and the Loch Ness Monster. And I don't know, what else is Scotland famous for? For rain and mountains and things like that. But two things that it is famous for, whiskey and the Loch Ness Monster. Okay, let's go on to our next one. And this next one is another one that students very often have problems with and make mistakes with. So the sentence is, I'm really interested something, adjectives and prepositions. Oh, I see a typo in my sentence. Let me fix that. Okay, so let's see. We've got three answers. Everyone says in, and the correct answer is, of course, in. So once again, highlighted here. I can't highlight it in the live chat, but here you can see it's interested in. Interested is the adjective, in is the preposition that we need to follow it. And to say I'm really interested in adjectives and prepositions, I'm not sure that's true of everybody here, but that's what we're doing, adjectives and prepositions. And it is interesting, I think, the combinations that we have. I'm going to change this sentence actually because we can do two prepositions in this one, just to make it a little bit harder for you because we've had a couple of easy ones in a row. Which means I need to change this here. Okay, I've changed it. So I was really proud, something, his son, something being accepted to university. Oh, I deleted the wrong word there. See, that's what happens when you change things at the last minute. So I actually showed you the second answer because I was trying to be too clever. Okay, so what do we have? Of and for, of and to. Josefa says of. Okay, let's have a look at the full sentence here. So here we have, he's really proud of his son for being accepted to university. So again, the combinations we're looking at here, proud of somebody for something, or proud of somebody for doing something, as we have here, for being accepted to university. Okay, good. Let's look at the next example. Adjective we have in this case is worried. So I'm worried something, losing my job. Think of the preposition that we might have here. After the adjective, worried. Okay, couple answers in. Anybody else? Okay, I'm just going to give you the correct answer here. So it is like Mamso and Atef said, about. So I'm worried about losing my job. That's not actually true, but it is a correct sentence. I'm worried about losing my job. So worried about something. Yeah. And remember, worry can be a verb as well, but in this case, it's an adjective. Yeah. So it's adjective, worried plus the preposition about, then ing. Again, you know, we get a lot of mistakes about using other forms after prepositions, but it has to be about losing your job. So after about the preposition ing. Okay, let's have a look at the next sentence. Okay, the adjective we have here is tired. I'm tired. Something, learning English. Let's do something else. This sentence could never be true because nobody could be tired. Something, learning English. I almost gave you the right answer again. I don't know what else we would do in this live chat if we weren't learning English though. Okay, we've got one answer in, two answers. Does anybody else want to give it a go? No, nobody else? Okay, let's have a look at the correct answer. So I'm tired of learning English. Okay, I'm tired of learning English. So tired of something or like in this case, doing something. Yeah, so tired of ing for the verb. I'm tired of learning English. Good. Okay, we're getting there now. We only have 2 more examples of adjectives with prepositions. Do you discuss tense, please? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to discuss tense just now. Thank you for joining us. It's nice to see you. But just now we're talking about just the adjectives and prepositions. Before we were looking at verbs and prepositions. You know, it depends what question you have. I'm happy to discuss it with you. Maybe not in this live chat with everybody else here, but if you send me a message on Facebook, then I'm happy to answer any questions you have about tense. JDev, if that's how you pronounce your name. Okay, so send me a message and we can talk about whatever questions you have about tenses, please. You know, sometimes I do let sessions like this where you just ask questions, but this one is a little bit more focused, so that's why I'm saying that, but I'm happy to help you. Okay, where are we? I got lost for a second there. So the sentence was, I'm not very keen something cycling. I prefer walking. So we've got 2 answers in already. Both people say on. And both people are correct. I'm not very keen on cycling. I prefer walking. So the combination that we're looking at here, keen, adjective, on, preposition, cycling, ing. Yeah, so I'm not very keen on cycling. Is that there? Okay, and let's have a look at our last example for today. Okay, you should eat more fruit. It's good something you. So try to put the answer. Good is a funny one because depending on what you're talking about, it can be a different preposition. So let's see what you go for in this case. Okay, we've got a couple of answers in. This is water, it's not whiskey. Okay, so does anybody else want to have an answer, to give an answer for this one? The correct answer is, you should eat more fruit. It's good for you. So remember that, you know, we talk about something, eating fruit, doing exercise, all of these things are good for you. It's good for your health, it's good for your body, etc. But if you're using good to talk about how capable you are of something, then it's good at. So for example, you'd say, I'm good at speaking English. I'm good at answering questions about verbs, adjectives, and prepositions, which all of you are. So that was our final example for today. We had, like I said, we had 10 verbs plus prepositions, 10 adjectives plus prepositions. A lot of the answers were correct. Some of them, you know, we could do with improving. So I would really strongly recommend 2 things when it comes to remembering verbs and adjectives in prepositions. One thing that you should memorize, exactly, JDev, that's exactly correct. 2 things I would recommend is, you know, getting a book, making a list. Every time you learn a new adjective or verb plus preposition, write it down on a page, like, for example, you know, apologize to somebody for something, and also write an example as well in English, because that's going to help you remember it. So that's the first thing I would say, you know, when you want to memorize, when you want to remember these things. And the other thing I would say is that, you know, when you read in English or when you listen to something in English, then you have to be aware of these things. You have to notice these things. Yeah. So, if you're reading a newspaper article, or you're reading something on Facebook, or reading my blog maybe, and you see a combination, like good at, or keen on, or any of the ones, whatever that we have, then try to add that to your list. Because, sometimes when people read something or listen to something, they focus on just understanding what it's about. But there's a lot of language there you can pick out, and learning things like combinations, bigger pieces of language, adjective, verbs, prepositions, plus the structures after that, like having ing. This will help you remember it, and it will also help it when it has to come out your mouth. So it will activate that language. Yeah, so that's a good thing to do. Okay, and like I said at the start, please feel free to join my Facebook group. It's called Learn English with Alex. There's a link at the very start of the live chat for people who came late. If you want to ask me any questions or anything, that's the place to do it. Send me a message. I'm happy to help you as much as I can. And please like this live chat if you liked it. That's an important thing. YouTube like it when people press that little button to like it. Please also subscribe to my channel. I have 2 lessons every week that come out, and I'm doing these live lessons once every 2 weeks. So I have lessons, videos that come out every Tuesday and Thursday. I had a really nice one yesterday, which had my dog in it. And it's about how to respond to good news in English. Please check it out. And also, today was the live one. Tomorrow, there's another lesson coming out as well. And I'll do another live lesson in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today. So that will be the 2nd of December. If you have some ideas, something that you would like me to talk about during a live lesson, or an idea for a lesson, get on Facebook, contact me, let me know. I'm happy to do things that you want me to do. It gives me ideas, it makes my life easier, so it's all a good thing. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking rubbish now, and I'll let you get back to your day. So I hope you learned something. I hope it was useful. It was nice talking to you, even if it is only a one-way conversation apart from the comments. So that was good. Have a nice day, everybody. You're very welcome, Josefa, and everybody. Thank you, JDev, for your comment. I am actually a native speaker of English and a teacher. That's why. Can lessons be a bit later? Start at 11:30? Yeah, we could do that, actually, Angelica. So maybe I'll put a post in Facebook and see what time is best for everybody. So that's us for today. Thank you for joining me, and take care. Remember to make a note of all the adjectives and verbs and prepositions, and listen for them in the future. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.